Guess what you are?
Guess what you are?
You're late! You're watching the VOD right now. And you know what that means?
You know what that means?
Oh, it's pretty simple, really. You gotta pay one price.
Pretty simple, really. You gotta pay one price.
You gotta spend your time watching an ad!
You gotta spend your time watching it.
Here we go. Fans of Time hoodie. This looks sick. Is available right now. Gokamerch.com. We got Eternal Beauty right here.
Shut up, Gokanaru. The real thing you should be advertising is our brand new Hubert NPCs. Did you enjoy the Sneeko video? Do you desire the love and companionship that comes with owning a Hubert of your own? Well, then you should head to Gokamerch.com and sign up for the email list. It's easy. Just take a look at one of our satisfied customers.
You open it.
Oh! Oh! That's hard. A little bite!
Wow, look at that smile. Making a friend has never been easier with our new Hubert NPCs. Sign up to the Gokamerch.com email list today so that you'll be the first to be notified when Huberts go on sale. Only a limited quantity will be sold.
So sign up. All right, back to the clip. All right, thank you for enduring that ad, you VOD watcher. Oh, we have real people in here. We actually have people lining up to join the Gokanaru streams now. You VOD watcher, I'll talk to you later. But along with signing up to the email list, I do want to show off this cool little piece of merch. This was designed by SB, a guy who is making merch for Sam Hyde's project, Fish Tank, as well as for Turkey Tom. And I was lucky enough to have this guy work with me to make the Escape, or Escape the Matrix, official t-shirt, okay? And we have this in a t-shirt variant. We have it in a hoodie variant. I prefer the hoodie personally, but the t-shirt looks good, honestly. This is a large, and I'm a large man, you know, but I love the fit. It looks great. This shit pops, bro, first of all, but then you go on the back. The back look goes hard, bro. Especially, I like these shirts because these are like the kind of shirts you can kind of tuck in, you know what I mean? Like if you have a belt. I do think I might be on crack. You can tell me if this fit is like cringe, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I might be on crack, but yeah, no, I do like the shirts. They're form fitting, they're nice, and yeah, go to gokamerch.com. You know, the big thing though is sign up to the email list because we will be selling custom little Huberts. They won't look like this one, okay? This one actually broke free. It escaped its little bubble, its little echo chamber. Yeah, I mean, I broke it. But yeah, we'll be selling these little fellas, limited quantity. So, VOD watcher, join that damn email list. How long's your penis? Tell me when to stop. Really? Okay, it's fucking big. All right, Lily, fucking big cock over here. Holy shit. Lily just came in swinging. So here's the deal, okay? I said this is a chill stream, and I'll tell you exactly why. I don't give enough of a shit about the dramas that are occurring right now. I kind of took a look. I was like, what could I talk about tonight? Nah, I was like, I don't give a I don't care. I'm still riding my own high a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit spoiled right now. And so I did want to kind of touch base, kind of be a little bit more chill, kind of talk to people and just basically, yeah, just kind of usher in this upcoming week with a little bit more of, I guess, a chill vibe. And Lily, you just brought the fucking vibes back to 100. Thank you for the 50 bones and the emote that failed to show. Yo, what's up, Saplo? What is good? 38 inches. Yeah, Luffy's penis is 38 inches. That's hype, bro. I'm happy for you. Goku, you should go on the lolcow podcast and get philosophical with obese men. That sounds awesome, to be honest, Bidjin. So here's the thing, right? Okay. The concept of spending my time kind of talking about lolcows or whatever. I'm kind of anti-lolcow, like philosophically. Now, I do think lolcows are like a real thing, like people who basically, it becomes a situation where the only way that they get money or attention is through, you know, f***ing up, is through basically their life being
right? Things going poorly for them, or them, self-destructing, doing stupid things. These people do exist. But in my mind, I am kind of philosophically against the idea of laughing at or shitting on them, or like giving them, honestly, even attention for it. Because yeah, to me, it's like whenever I watch commentary, whenever I watch drama, to me, it just, like, I can't just laugh at somebody for no grander reason or whatever, right? I do like to think that, if I'm going to consume a drama or whatever, there's something to gain from it, something to learn from it. And to an extent, that's why the Twomad situation, which I would not call that a drama, but that situation really fucked with me, because that was just a really no good situation. Like, the lessons to be learned, there were lessons, let's be clear, those lessons being pretty obvious, to be honest, but being isolated, only socializing through the internet, through Discord, through, basically Twitter, right? Only socializing in spaces where you can completely just choose and pick who you are talking to in that exact moment, right? That can lead to alienation, narcissism, and delusions of grandeur. And if you develop a habit, like a drug habit, because, maybe you started taking ADHD medication when you're like 15 years old, right? And you got immensely rewarded for your very niche, humor, right? And editing skills. And you made a ton of money. You were a social pariah growing up. And so now you have money. And then you move to LA, which is like literally, it's basically like a fly trap for the most, socially vacuous people, right? Or like opportunistic people. So you were a social pariah growing up. You were on meds for ADHD. You got rewarded for your, kind of ADHD style editing. And then you go to LA alone with no real friends. And then COVID hits, right? And you develop a fucking bigger drug dependency with ketamine. And basically what ends up happening is that along the way, yeah, you chose to be alone, but there was definitely a couple external variables where it's like COVID happens and you kind of have to be alone. You don't have to deal with other people, right? You don't have to adapt. You don't have to treat anybody well. And so when you are interacting with people, you're high and you're basically just trying to get exactly what you want. And that's a recipe for fucking disaster. And a disaster is definitely what we beholded there. Beheld? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't mean to, ruin the vibe, but there is lessons to be learned from Twomad. And I think the biggest one to me is just, look, the importance of having friends and having community, okay? And there's a difference between having a friend, right, and having like a community. The big thing though is that both of them, if they're good friends and a good community, they will hold you accountable to your actions, right? And so if you're just alone, isolated completely in your house, I mean, look at Breaking Bad, right? Jesse Pinkman, when he's like, the biggest drug addict that he can be, his friends don't give a fuck about him, and he's just kind of, doing meth in his pad, right? So yeah, like having a community, it's like social pressure to not cave into too many, carnal desires. It's social pressure to not fuck up social relationships. And then, obviously having friends. The big thing that was depressing with the Twomad thing, right? It was just that he was at a extremely deep level of cope, right? Like further than you can really imagine, hopefully, yourself in like embodying, right? And that was absolutely partially due to the drugs. Like, this is a big thing people need to understand, is that when you're a genuine addict, okay, it like a lot of people, like, there's just so much rationalization, there's so much cope, okay? And that's not all addicts, but a lot, right? It's just a facet of being addicted to something, right? You just don't want to acknowledge that there's like this thing that is controlling your life that isn't you, right? And yeah, in the case of Twomad, specifically, the line that he talks about where me and Tom are kind of confronting him about the fact of like, bro, you don't have any friends looking out for you right now. You don't have family, whatever. And he basically says,
I'll fucking find friends, you know, I'll do that later, you know, I'll do this like social bullshit later. I'll find that. Well, he never found it, right? So I was watching the whole doc you made, which was pretty put well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about Twomad right now. I just want to I didn't expect to go into this rant, but man, it's been on my mind, bro. It's been on my mind. Tom is planning on making a video about it, and I'm kind of trying to decide what the hell I'm doing, to be honest with you. Because for those who don't know, okay, and this, I do think this is kind of a worthwhile tangent for me to go on, because, you know, maybe you can help me think it through, right? A little bit. I don't trust you that much. Okay, you're not going to control my mind. Not yet. But, yeah. Basically, in August of last year, okay, me and Turkey Tom accidentally stumbled into an interview with Twomad, and this is basically the only existing interview with Twomad where he talks, you know, about the allegations in any serious way, okay? And at the time, the big thing, right, is that my live stream, the Gokanaru live stream, which you are currently a part of, and you should join the Discord, okay? Because the Gokanaru live stream, you know, we do a lot of weird stuff here, okay? And I usually think, you know, it's kind of interesting, right? The big thing, though, to understand about my streams is that there's chill vibes, there's spooky vibes, there's harmless vibes. And at the end of the day, though, I do want you to come out of these streams feeling, at the very least, motivated for life, okay? Or, you know, maybe you'll learn something, maybe, whatever. But at the end of the day, I do want you to feel like this is, you know, a positive to your life. It's not just totally a way to cope, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people watch content just to cope. But, yeah, but anyway, the point I was getting to, the Gokanaru stream was cited in court because of this fucking live stream that we did. And that live stream, by the way, was titled "The Most Chill Gokanaru Stream of All Time." So I titled the live stream that. And then what proceeded would end up getting cited in court against Twomad, which, it amounted to him receiving a restraining order. But beyond that, obviously, from what I understand, before criminal charges came, he obviously died. But yeah, this 4-hour-long interview, it was originally, the plan was to put it on the main channel. The thing is, I didn't want to mess with the investigations or whatever. I was just nervous, to be honest with you, because I didn't, like, this was just, like me and Tom, for two idiots to encounter this kind of a scenario, it just fell so out of our depth. And then obviously once he died, I just was like, is there a point to this anymore? I just really don't know. But the only part that, you know, I kind of was like, you know, I like this part, or it's like maybe worth watching, you know, was the part at the end. Okay, and so I'll show you the part at the end right now. Okay, it's very short, but it's pretty much emphasizing, in my opinion, okay, the true Achilles heel of Twomad. Obviously, a lot of people are very quick to just say, like, write him off as a druggie. You know, drugs killed Twomad, and it's like, yes, okay, but the drugs were a symptom of many fucking variables in this guy's life, and in my opinion, the core variable was no fucking community, no true friends, just an isolated, narcissistic, but again, look, in my mind, psychologists would disagree with me, I think that a psychologist would say, like, you are a narcissist or you're not, but as I'm going to say in this clip, like, we live in a culture of narcissism, to a large extent, right? Like, our culture currently, right, in, you know, North America, or whatever you want to say, is super fucking fixated on influencers, on gaining fame, gaining wealth, all this shit, like extremely egoic desires, right? In a lot of ways frivolous, right? And this is obviously most clearly manifested in, like, who are the biggest celebrities that are celebrated or fucking, you know, influencing young teens today. And it's like, okay, Kim Kardashian, you know, who else? Fuck. A lot of rappers, right? And like Drake, right? And at the end of the day, you know, you can say these people are talented. Sure, yeah. You can say that they're very attractive. You can say all these, you know, variables that are reasons why they got popular. But at the end of the day, most of them at least, it is kind of like their narcissism that elevates them, right? Even Trump, bro. Even Trump, you know? Trump is kind of beautiful because he is a little bit of a he's a little bit of a reflection of the culture of narcissism, you know what I mean? And that's not even, to me, that's not even me saying Trump equals bad, you know? It's kind of just facts, right? Like a big part of why people really fuck with Trump, right, is they kind of see himself in him, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, that guy's doing it. That guy's fucking doing it. He's showing what American politics is, which is kind of a joke. You know what I mean? He's like exposing the farce, right? It's like, bro, you're telling me I can elect like a satirical fucking character, like someone out of a Greek tragedy or some shit that's like a jester? We can elect that guy? That's a fucking awesome. That's hilarious. And it's like, yeah, Trump's a narcissist. Okay. That's not controversial, right? At the end of the day, is his true prime directive what's best for America? Is that his core driving influence? Probably not. Probably not, you know? Probably his core driving influence is like, how can I uplift myself and, you know, maybe my friends, family, whatever, right? But like, think about the people that he put in his fucking cabinet, bro. You know? A lot of them were not qualified, but they were connected to him, right? But anyway. So, yeah. I'll show you this clip now, and I'll be reading chat, okay? I'll be playing with you in there. But I do think this clip, I don't know, to me it just, especially after Twomad died, I was just like, wow. It just gives me chills, you know what I mean? And with my videos, I really do, I think, who was it? Adorno, okay? Adorno is like a, what is it? Frankfurt School thinker, right? Kind of a snob, kind of an elitist when it comes to, you know, media or like culture or art. Anyway, he talked about a shudder effect. And when I heard this for the first time, like I already knew what he meant, because I had experienced this before. You ever watch like a movie and something hits so hard, or like it just like is presented so well, it actually puts a shiver down your spine? That to me is what the shudder effect is in action, okay? And I really love when I give people that effect. And trust me, when I was editing this, I gave myself the shudder effect. Like this shit rattles me, and honestly, it really fucks. Now it fucks with me heavy because of what ended up happening. Because you have to keep in mind when I made this, I wouldn't say I was confident that Twomad would recover, right? But there was hope, right? There was hope. Now, obviously, it's just not gonna happen ever. But yeah, here you go. I'll stop talking about it now. Here you go.
They're all very friendly to him. It's quite nice.
Nice. He's from Oregon?
I think Massachusetts.
Oh. Okay, so he's not literally driving. Yeah, he's not scared.
He's not scared at all. Like he thinks I have food. That's what he wants really bad.
Yeah. He's so cute. Oh shit, he's posing for it, bro. Look at that shit. Wow.
You can see his eyes.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Fuck. Cutie. So yeah, if it wasn't obvious, that interview ended on a gross feeling note. I don't think anyone came out of that conversation feeling better about their lives, better about themselves. And so if there's any takeaway that I'd like to share with you, I'm just going to avoid giving my opinion on the Twomad stuff, because I think it is wise to just let the court case happen at this point. But there was one thing that Twomad said that definitely left an impression on me.
Has there anyone that's been around you throughout this? Like, just kind of keep your head on straight, or no?
Not really. I'm based.
I see.
You're making being based sound really depressing, bro.
What do you mean depressing? It builds character.
Being alone, it can.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely. You don't think that builds fortitude, having a hard life?
no, I want a hard life. I've never wanted an easy life, but doesn't mean you need to like experience it alone. Anyway.
Yeah. I think having people around you is really important.
Well, there's 7 billion people, so eventually it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one thing that was just oozing from this conversation, it was the very obvious fact that Twomad is like super desocialized. And I really don't mean that in a judgmental way, it just seems very obvious. He's away from his family in LA without apparently any close friends to hang out with in real life. And I mean, yeah, when all you've got is video games and people you talk to on Discord and and Twitter, I can definitely see how the levels of cope, callousness, and egocentrism can manifest in someone, you know what I mean? I'm someone who's never lived alone, okay? I've lived in tight spaces with a lot of people, and I've been humbled, kept in check, but also guided by other people throughout my life. I'm not sure if Twomad had this conversation because he doesn't have any friends who will talk to him about this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't even know him, and I'm pretty sure Tom doesn't consider him a friend. Having people around you who don't blindly worship you, who question you even, who have their own interests and ambitions, is extremely important for development. When Twomad mentions wanting a hard life and associating being alone with a hard life, it makes me question a little bit what kind of life he wants to live. Because in my opinion, living with and around other people is not easy. What seems easier is just crawling into a cozy little bubble, only interacting with the people you approve of online, and evading all accountability and ownership in favor of cope. Straight up cope. People act as mirrors. They reflect what you are, in case you don't know. A massive part of social anxiety is a fear that others won't see you the way you see yourself. Or maybe that they will see you for how you see yourself. The point is that it's rooted in a kind of preservation of your ego and the ideal that you might not live up to in reality. And so that's why, in my opinion, more important than money, definitely more important than pleasure, and absolutely more important than fame, is friends. People with similar or completely different goals who are genuinely invested in you becoming the best version of yourself you can be. For some of us, our parents, our family might fill that role, but we're not all so lucky. So, friends, you can pick those. This isn't something to put off. Dealing with the chaos of other people is a developed skill, and making new friends will always feel forced at the start. You have to force yourself to try. And in general, you'll know that you've made a good friend when it stops feeling forced to hang out with them. Today we live in a culture of narcissism, where almost everything around you is telling you to focus on only yourself. But trust me when I say, a hard life doesn't get easier when you have friends, but it sure as hell makes the hardship feel more worthwhile.
Mail, mail from Mars.
Look at that shit. Wow. Have a good night, brother. Stay away from animal control, and I hope you get good scraps tomorrow. Okay, anyway, that's enough preaching for one day. So, in the meantime, get off the ket, onto NoFap, and into the gym, motherfucker. Manifest your ambitions, make some friends, and most importantly, give your mother a hug. It's important, man. That's important shit. But yeah, I'm talking to Sleepy in chat. Sleepy got to see this, I think, before almost anybody else. I was basically like, I was in a call with Tom. Sleepy was working with him, and I was like, I was kind of like, basically just pointing out how I turned really scuffed footage of me and Tom hanging out, right? Like the big thing, right? And this is kind of like, again, in hindsight, I can't watch this shit because just for me, it's like hard to watch. But the dichotomy that I'm trying to like show, right, is like Twomad, right? He's like basically in denial, or he's coping that, you know, he doesn't need friends, right? And his ideal ego, right? This is what you need to understand. Twomad's ideal ego was Light Yagami from Death Note, okay? And that's a horrible ideal ego, like to have sincerely, right? But constantly Twomad would post pictures of Light Yagami on Twitter. Even, bro, the spookiest thing to me is, because again, like I told you guys, this got cited in court, right? And a part of that is, yes, because of what Twomad says, but he also shows us a lot of footage that just was never seen, you know? Things that people didn't know existed. And yeah, so one part of that, it was about a 25-minute conversation between Twomad and
you know, the alleged victim, Goldie Bell. And they're talking about Misa Misa cosplays, right? So like Twomad genuinely really did kind of view himself as Light Yagami. And what a horrible fucking ideal ego, you know what I mean? Like, to have sincerely, right? Because everyone can read Death Note and kind of be like, fuck, dude, this guy's like, you know, Patrick Bateman, he's like a genius, whatever, you know, I want to be like that. But to sincerely think, you know, this is like the person I want to personify in my head, in my fantasy world, right? Because a lot of people live in their fucking fantasies. It's dangerous shit. It's dangerous shit because that informs your decisions totally, right? Like, you know, if you think deep down you're a genius and you have it all figured out, you're just going to get to a level of cope that, unfortunately, Twomad did get to. But yeah, the big dichotomy I wanted to show here was just such a poetic fucking night to me, bro. Because before this night, Tom was living in Canada and we hadn't met up. We hadn't met up at that point, but after this stream, basically, Tom was just like, we basically were just like, dude, we got to hang out after that. We got to blow some fucking steam. Like, what the hell was that? And so it's like, I'm showing basically like, you know, after that horrible interview, me and Tom just kind of chilled and just looked at fucking raccoons. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's not scared.
He's not scared at all. He thinks I have food. That's what he wants really bad.
He's so cute. And then obviously, in the case of like Twomad, like the end of his night that night was probably getting high and playing fucking Overwatch, which was also pretty much the events of the last day he was alive, you know, from whatever I'm aware of. So yeah, man, cope is real, and trust me, if you look, the big thing you need to understand about cope, okay, is that when isolated, when alone, it becomes so much easier to cope. It becomes so much easier to not get checked, right? Because you have to do it all yourself. It's all self fucking analysis. And most people don't really have a reason to, because it's uncomfortable, actually analyze themselves, right? Like to face, again, this is a saying I fucking am kind of championing, where it's like facing the mirror, right? Trying to confront the reality of what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, right? Most people do not have to face that head on themselves. They holy fuck, someone's... We're just gonna ignore that, okay? This is a harmless, chill Gokanaru stream tonight. We're gonna ignore the sirens, okay? Anyway, but yeah, what I was saying though is the primary way that most people get, you know, confronted or like called out for their copes, right, is through other people, right? Because the big thing you need to understand, like I think I went into it in that clip, but it's like other people act as mirrors, okay? So again, as I was saying, in reality, most people do not want to see the fucking flaws in themselves, okay? In reality, you know, even though self-help is so prevalent on the internet, in reality, most self-help is also fucking cope to an extent. And not everybody even consciously engages in self-help, right? Like you can go to a therapist, and if what you are looking for, it's all dependent on what you're looking for, right? If what you're looking for going to therapy is somebody to confirm your prior notions, to confirm that, you know, everyone else is the problem in your life, you might find that. But the best form of accountability is not for you to be self-critical, which you should be, but again, you can't, like, people, like, it's just rare. People can't really trust themselves to be self-critical. The best form of criticism or whatever will come from other fucking people, especially people who care about you, okay? Usually, right? Because yeah, I mean, think about it, right? Twomad was a guy who there was no separation. This is just, everyone can accept this now. There was no separation between his ADHD troll kind of chaotic vibe on the internet and his real self, right? And this is something that we can get into, where it's like when you're around other people, to an extent, you usually do wear a mask, right? And people hear that and they think to themselves, that's fucked up, you know, you're not your true self, whatever. But A lot of the times, bro, your most true self, it's fucking ugly. It's fucking ugly, right? That's, again, I'm not saying that for everybody, but Zizek, okay? That's the philosopher we'll invoke right now. But Zizek talks about this when it's like, in a way, what somebody does online, right? When they have the veil of anonymity, that's kind of like almost a manifestation of your most true self, right? So people picture, you go online and, you know, you do a bunch of chaotic shit that you would never do in reality because it's not actually who you are, you know what I mean? Online you get to be anybody. But the identity you choose to manifest when you think you're anonymous, that might be actually more indicative of who you are than who you are when you're in reality, right? Because in reality, you can't be a fucking social deviant without consequences, right? And so, yeah, with Twomad, I just see someone basically who had no mask, right? And again, I don't think that the mask is a bad thing, right? The big thing is, you know, trying to be aware that there is a separation, right? Be aware that left to your own devices, you might not be that good of a person, okay? And this is the big thing with being like a noble individual, right? Because, okay, a lot of people think, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And you know why I'm a good person? Because I don't do anything bad.